Speed. That's who we're here to talk about. The one and only hardcore band, Speed, with their newest, actually their debut album, Only One Mode. Hi, I'm Matt from Diazable. Thanks for coming on by. If you know who I am, you know. If you're not, I talk about music, and today I'm excited to talk about the new debut album from a very, very, very popular and just like probably one of the biggest albums in the 2024 space of hardcore and metal, and that is Only One Mode from Speed. They are an Australian hardcore band from Sydney, and they have been just making waves and just killing it in terms of like exciting shows, great written songs, and just great positivity. Like everyone in the scene loves them, and for good reason, because they're super awesome, and everyone's really stoked on this album, and including myself. Yeah. So let's go in a nice dissection of each of the tracks, and then I'll give my final thoughts on this album. So let's get into it. The album starts off with like a nice flute intro and everything, which is very unorthodox and hardcore, and it has a bit of an Asian flair to it, which I really enjoy, being half Asian and what these guys are trying to do. They're trying to put that Asian, I guess, touch to their songs and everything, and it's nice. And then the song goes into some really hard ripping guitar riffs that have a really nice tuning here. The drums very dynamically played here, very nice. And then they move the song along into nice bouncy and groovy midsection. The bass tuning is really, really good, especially during like the slow down part. The vocals and the backing vocals complement each other very nicely on this song. The overall feel of the song is very large and like just like huge, and it sounds good. And at the back end of the song, they have some really cool high pitched guitar playing that just ends the song. This song just from the get go just goes off in terms of hard riffing, hard drumming and everything. There's like a split second where like the bass comes in. It's really nice. They're just going really in on this song. The vocals sound really clear, but also have a huge sound to them at the same time. And like before, I guess you want to call it the bridge of the song and everything, there's like a cool fast two-step part that's nice. And the breakdown, it goes hard as fuck. I felt like the beginning of the song was building up to like a really hard breakdown at the start, but once it like kicks in, it's just like generic, not generic, but just simple hardcore playing here with the riffs and the drums and everything just sounding really, really hardcore in terms of style, which is not bad, but I was expecting a little something different, but it still sounds really good. And then in the middle section of the song, they have like a choir backing section and everything that's saying like "No Love." It has a really cool haunting sound to it. So I think that was really cool how they incorporated that into this song. The riffs have a nice, really good, well, they have a really good crunch to them that I like. And the breakdown, it's kind of just like a breakdown, nothing too special, but it, like the haunting backing vocals, the crunchy guitars and everything. And there's some really good groovy parts in here. They really help balance out this song, I think. So I want to play a clip of "No Love, But for Our Own." That "No Love" part in the chorus just sounds dope. The drums are really big and fast here, and that's nice. The backing and gang vocals here are really, really good on this particular song. They add a lot of weight to the song, and I like that. Guitar riffs sound pretty good and everything, but towards the end, it kind of feels a little bit on the weird and janky side a little bit, but overall, it's still a pretty good song. God damn, that transition from the last song to this song was just chef's kiss. It was so good, and I think this is like the perfect hardcore song because it has really bouncy riffs, hard and snappy drums, deep and heavy bass, raw vocals with really great lyrics, and a badass breakdown with some flutes and like DJ scratching. Like, it's just a perfectly made song, I feel like. So I want to play a clip of the first test for you. So long, that's the path that I choose. Such a good transition. The snare drum on this particular song, it is popping and it sounds great. The riffs have like a cool like gallopy like style to it with a heavier tuning, and then like the bass solo, pretty clean, I would say. It's pretty nice. and the vocals, main and guest vocals, switch things up a little bit, and they both match the style of the song very well. And the breakdown has a really good crunchy sound to it that I like. The drum fills here got a little bit of like a funky feel to it, but they are very powerful and really like felt. And then just like there's like a short snippet where they say send them to Sydney with like gang vocals and everything, and it sounds really dope. And this is just one long ass breakdown of a song, and it's just disgustingly heavy. Probably gonna be like everyone's favorite song on this album, I think. So here's a clip of Send Them to Sydney. Disgusting, mate. Fucking disgusting. Or as my friends would say, tough as guts. Oh, at the beginning, there's some fast drumming here to break up the monotony of the album a little bit, which is nice. The guitar tuning sounds really sick over the simple drum playing. And then they got some guest vocals that sound really like haunting and dope here. And I would say the mix of all the guest vocals go really well with how hard the song goes. Pretty catchy riffs and everything here, bold drumming, and the bass has got a nice catch to it as well as like the riffs. And I would say the breakdown at the end, oh man, it just makes you want to put on a stanky face like this. Like, it's just so hard and groovy. The beginning of the song is very like speed, like in terms of hardcore with like ripping riffs, big breakdowns and everything. A nice mosh call out that goes pretty hard, and it's overall simple and effective. But then midway through the song, they kind of switch things up a little bit. It kind of reminded me of like Turnstile a little bit in terms of the groove with the guitars in the middle. Then you get some more hard moshing parts and everything. And there's a nice bass solo part here that's very hypnotic. So good ending song, I think. Beat is just here to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to make some ass beating music. And they do a good job of just making some hard ass songs. And I think what really is good about this album, it caters to both new hardcore fans who are into the scene in the past 5, maybe less than 10 years, and to the older heads who have been in the game for 20, 30, 40 plus years. It has a good middle section of new and old hardcore coming together, because they got some really hard moshing parts here that would make old heads feel like, whoa, this is fucking dope and stuff. And then they inject some new life into it, and like by bringing some new instruments like the flute playing, a little bit of like the DJ scratching, and some unorthodox like samples and stuff like here. There's like the part where there's a choir and they're singing one, like, was it the One Love part and everything. It just sounded really cool that they brought in a choir and everything. And I like that they are mixing things nicely, but also paying respect to the old hardcore where they come from, and they want to mosh and make heavy music, which they still do, but also trying to like make the genre a little bit more diverse and different. And it's nice, it's refreshing, and it doesn't feel too forced or anything. And overall, they keep things, when they keep songs really short and simple, like on Send Them to Sydney and stuff like that, they just can make some really hard hitting riffs, hard hitting guitar drumming and everything, bass that can actually be heard and felt, which in most bands it can get drowned out, but it's prominent and sounds really good. Vocals from the main vocalist, guest vocals, backing vocals, all different types of vocals and everything are on here, and they all mesh really well with the sounds that they're creating here. And everything about this album is just top tier. It's just really, really great. The production, the playing, they know when to pull back on certain instruments, when to push some instruments back. Like they pulled back some guitar solos or guitar playing, so the vocals could sound much more prominent. And they've done it where they dropped all the music out and let the bass be there and like let it do its thing and transition the song into different parts and everything. So they know how to make good song arrangements and make good songs that are just hard and fun to dance to and everything. The only small criticism I would have is some of the songs, maybe the longer songs, a little bit too long, but like all the short songs are very speed, like they're living up to their name. They're fast, intense, and they do well in shorter songs. But even like the longer songs, they're still enjoyable. Like they're not bad or anything. There's not a single bad song on this album. And so I think probably one of mine, probably a bunch of other people's, I can easily say we're over halfway through the year that I could say this is a good contender for album of the year in the hardcore scene and everything. So with that being said, I would say this album from Speed, their debut album, can't believe I'm saying that, debut album this good. Ooh, good job, guys. It's a good solid 9.5 out of 10. Yeah. So tell me what you thought about this album. Like, subscribe, comment down below. I'll link a video to my first review of their EP, Gang Called Speed. I think that's what it was called back in 2022. I'm Matt from Diazable. Thanks for coming on by and checking me out. And I will see you guys in the pit. Yeah.